I think it's super important to examine what your beliefs are about symptoms and disease when navigating any sort of health issue. Because, while things are quite nuanced, I think this is actually kind of black and white. For me, it is. In terms of not examining what are symptoms and disease. Because I think on one hand, and this is a very dominant thought form through the conventional medical paradigm, that symptoms and disease are the body messing up, doing something wrong, turning against you, and they need to be suppressed, warred against, beaten into submission, right? So we can feel good. But I don't want to say never, but I've never seen, and I wouldn't expect generally to see, particularly people with kind of chronic illnesses becoming well if they are viewing their experience in that way. Because the other alternative perspective to this warring mentality around symptoms and disease is that the body, it doesn't make mistakes. It's never doing anything wrong. And we could get esoteric about this, but I don't actually think you have to, although I could get really into that. But we can stay in the realm of biology, where symptoms of disease are not your body messing up. The body is this hugely intelligent, beautiful vessel, an organism that, symptoms and disease are really just intelligent adaptations. It is the body and the body communicating to you that, okay, something's out of balance. But when we say intelligent adaptations, like what do I actually mean by that, right? So it's kind of like class one, week one, day one of anatomy and physiology, this concept of homeostasis. So our body is continuously and actively trying to maintain an internal balance, an equilibrium. And the reason for that is its primary objective is to preserve its internal environment to keep us alive. That's the body's primary objective internally. It's not, so concerned with making sure we feel good all the time. It is it is primarily concerned with this internal balance to ensure you survive, right? So, if our blood sugar drops, it will increase the production of stress hormones to try to get our blood sugar back again. If we become internally really hot, we will sweat to cool our body down. There's many other examples I could give. But that is essentially what's going on with symptoms and disease. Um, so, I think because it is our belief systems and thought forms, some of which are unconscious, which shape how we think and how we feel, and therefore our behaviors. I just don't see the warfare fighting against our reality mentality of addressing symptoms as ever going to be conducive to restoring balance to the body. If we believe our body is against us and we need to fight against what it's doing, we're fighting against reality, right? And we lose trust in this, incredible biological design of our body. We're rejecting how intelligent the body is. And, this is one of the pillars of the one of seven, I think, pillars of mindfulness, where you first have to accept what is happening, right? And then move forward to get curious about, okay, what's going on here? Now that I've accepted that this is how it should be, and that my body is doing this for a very specific reason, my body's not doing anything wrong. It is responding to inputs, right? And those inputs can be in the physical realm. It can be whether or not we're getting the correct light exposures. It could be the foods we're eating, or what we're drinking. Or it can be the inputs of thoughts, like what thoughts are we thinking, conscious or very unconscious, right? Due to past experiences. It's this ongoing kind of journey of going, what's really going on here? But I think personally that it's crucial to examine what we think symptoms and disease are. Because the treatment approaches that are taken when we are fighting against what is happening, if you look at the language used in pharmaceuticals, you'll notice a lot of medications have the word anti in it, which means against. So antihistamine, antidepressant, antihypertensive, right? They're fighting against what the body is doing. And, those approaches, they don't really work. They're not really resolving anything, right? Antibiotic means against life. To fight against life, just the etymology of that, it feels wrong. And like it won't work. And I mean, the damage that the excessive use of antibiotics has done is extreme, right? Yeah, so you look, I mean, I'd love to talk about this kind of stuff more. Like the thought forms and belief systems we have that may be holding us back from being well and healthy and thriving. And this is a big one, right? This is, for me, I think this is a huge one in sitting back and reflecting, oh, okay, do I trend towards just wanting to get rid of and fight against what my body's doing? Or do I believe, can I sit back and relax and permeate in the thought form that, okay, wow, my body is so intelligent and wise, and it's doing this for a very specific reason. And I wonder why. I wonder what that is. And then we stop turning against our bodies and we can actually, you know, start moving forward with understanding what is really going on.